special event. It's my honor and privilege to invite His Excellency, Mr. Vilmars Henninge, Ambassador of the Republic of Latvia in the Czech Republic, to the floor and to deliver a welcome speech. Your Excellency, we are deeply honored by your presence today, and we are grateful for your continued support.
First of all, dear guests, sorry for my voice, I'm a bit lost, and due to the spring, people's experiences, and open the boat to them. Last year, together with the Latvian National Airlines, Air Baltic, and the Czech Association of Tour Operators and Travel Agents, we already organized a similar seminar. This year, we have adjusted the concept and are doing it together with our Lithuanian colleagues and partners to diversify your impressions and broaden the range of offers. Dear friends, Latvia is a country that brings together exactly what modern travelers are increasingly looking for: nature, peace, quality, and authenticity. We are one of the greenest countries in Europe, with 500 kilometers of sandy beaches, untouched forests, national parks, and places where one can still enjoy silence, real, effortless, non-commercialized. This is an experience that is becoming more valuable at a time when many popular destinations suffer from overcrowding and tourist fatigue. Meanwhile, Latvian capital Riga is a city that surprises. It is an Art Nouveau metropolis with one of the largest collections of this architectural style in the world, a vibrant cultural scene, and a modern creative energy. It is large enough to be interesting and compact enough to be comfortable. And most importantly, it is only 1.5 hour flight from Prague. This means simple logistics, short transfers, and easily created itineraries. Latvia is an easy and flexible product for tour operators. Safe, well organized, with good infrastructure and an excellent price-to-quality ratio. We offer a wide range of possibilities, from remarkable architectural treasures to military heritage, from spa and wellness trips to active holidays, from gastronomic experiences to cultural events. Your clients will feel well received here, not like just one of many. What special things can you find in Latvia? The widest waterfall in Europe, the Ventus Rumba, almost 250 meters long, located next to the UNESCO heritage town Kuldīga. Rundale Palace, Latvia's mini Versailles with its French-style garden, a fully restored Baroque and Rococo masterpiece. The northernmost outdoor vineyard in Europe at the city of Sabile. And last but not least, the midsummer celebration, when Latvians dress in national costumes, dance and jump over bonfires, wear wreaths of herbs, eat caraway, see cheese, drink beer, sing folk songs, and decorate everything with greenery and branches. Latvia is a place people return to because they feel good here, calm, safe, and welcomed. And it is a country that can become your next successful product for the Czech market. I invite you to come, experience it, and see for yourselves. Latvia is not a place that can be fully explained. It is a place that must be felt. I wish you a successful event, good discussions, and thank you for your attention.
Imenuję się Rolandas Kaczyńskas, był wysłanec Litwy w tę krasną ziemię Czeskiej Republice. Za chwilę będę mówić o innej krasnej ziemi, o Litwie, ale najpierw przejdę do angielszczyzny. For my Lithuanian friends, I will just will translate what I just said, that I introduced myself, that I will be presenting another beautiful destination, Lithuania, although we also reside here in the Czech Republic, which is famous for its beauty and its culture. So now don't look at me as a salesman, consider me as your personal guide to Lithuania. There are destinations Czech visits because everyone else does. Hello, Croatia. And destinations, Czechs visit because they want to feel clever. So Lithuania belongs firmly in the second category. 35 years ago, now 36 years ago, Lithuania put itself on the political map of Europe, on the political map of the world. Today, with this event, together with our Latvian colleagues, we want to put our countries on the touristic map of Czech Republic, of Czech tourists. So this is our task today. But Lithuania is not exactly a secret, but it is kind of place that rewards people who enjoy discovering things before they become mainstream. In other words, perfect for the Czechs. Okay, but before I begin, let me say some acknowledgements to all the partners with whom we cooperated in organizing this event. You see the representatives of the companies and institutions that are important from the Lithuanian side, including the names of the institutions, representatives of which came here to this event, and of course a special acknowledgement for our dear friends, for the Latvian colleagues, the Latvian ambassador. Just to put in the context, Latvia and Lithuania are the only two relative nations, belongs to the Baltic group. We are surrounded by the Slavic people, by Eurofin people in the north, by the Germanic people on the west, and the Scandinavian. There are only two remaining nations that belongs to the Baltic group of people, and it's Latvians and Lithuanians. So it's not surprising that we're organizing this event also together. So, why do I think that Lithuania is perfect for the Czechs, and why is it a smart destination? Maybe, as I said, some destinations are obvious, other destinations are not that obvious, but really Lithuania and Latvia and the whole region is really a good idea for the Czechs to travel. But let me begin with the fact that I'll start from saying that we're not strangers. We have a 1,000-year relationship built on curiosity, coincidence, and a little bit chaos. The fact is that Czechs have been visiting Lithuania for over a millennium. In fact, the first Czech traveler we know was St. Wojtek, the Bishop of Prague, who traveled to the Baltics with a noble intentions to Christianize, to baptize the still pagan nations of the Baltic tribes, and returned, well, not exactly. He ended his life in this part of the world, but it just indicates that medieval tourism was a risky business back then. Then, of course, came the Bohemian Knights, who visited Lithuania repeatedly during the Teutonic Crusades. They were not exactly backpackers either, but they did keep coming back with a modern tourism, what the modern tourist analysis is called excellent customer loyalty. And by the way, when I'm talking about the Teutonic Knights, about the Bohemian Knights, so for you to remember that this city, which is today called Kaliningrad, and in German it's Königsberg, was established by the Bohemian Knights. So it has direct relationship with the Czechia. Lithuanians, meanwhile, also were drawn to Prague like mosquitoes to a beautiful vaulted flame. By the 14th century, Lithuanian students already studied at the Charles University, proving that the expected life exceeded long before Erasmus. And then, of course, Vytautas the Great, our Grand Duke from the 14th and 15th century, to whose sides offered at one point a crown of Bohemia. He never actually arrived to take the job, which makes him the only person in history to ghost an entire kingdom. So it just confirms that we have this long history with practically a family, the kind of family that forgets to call for 500 years and then suddenly shows up with a bottle of mead, which is a typical Lithuanian alcohol drink. I would say that if Zimmerman had a cousin, he would live in Lithuania. Why? I will explain in a little bit while. But let's proceed. So, why do I think that it's perfect? Lithuania is a perfect destination for the Czech tourists. First of all, that it's close enough. It's been told several times already about the geographical proximity with the Baltic countries, with Lithuania and Latvia. But in fact, it's close enough. I've been serving here for almost 2 years now, and I come to this conclusion sometimes that the Czech people in general sometimes think of us as a country that's very located very far away, as if we would be still terra incognita. But if you would look at the map of Europe, it's only a 10-hour drive from the border of Czechia and Poland to the border of Poland and Lithuania. Just one country separates us, or me as an ambassador should say that connects us, is Poland. With the excellent infrastructure now in Poland, with the very good highways, you can drive from Wrocław. They're still missing part from the border of the Czechia and Poland until the Wrocław, but from Wrocław you can drive on a highway straight to either Klaipėda, Kaunas, or Vilnius. On the famous road, highway called Via Baltica. This construction is being continued now with the constructing the highway lanes towards Riga, towards Latvia, and soon we'll have an excellent highway infrastructure to take the Czech tourists to the Baltics straight on the highways through Poland to Lithuania, to Latvia, and then to Estonia. And actually, Via Baltica is a famous road for us, which kind of is a symbol of the Baltic region being connected to the western part of Europe, an infrastructure symbol. But it's always interesting to know that the Via Baltica is part of this bigger E67 European highway, which starts in Prague. So symbolically we can say that Via Baltica starts actually in Prague and connects Vilnius, Riga and Tallinn. So bear this in mind, we're really closer than you think. And with the construction of the Rail Baltica, the high-speed trains, which are progressing little by little, slowly by slowly, but there are plans to conclude by the year 2033, let's say. So we'll have an excellent connection, the high-speed trains going 250 kilometers per hour from Tallinn via Riga, Vilnius and Kaunas to Warsaw. And with the developments on the Polish and Czech sides to also have a good high-speed rail connections, so it would even bring our countries closer together. So bear this in mind. But until this happens, of course, we're very happy to have direct flights. Also, not only to Riga, but today we also have direct flights from Prague to Vilnius. It's really very close, as I said, just you cross Poland and you land in Vilnius. You could have a breakfast in Prague and then have a lunch in Lithuania, or vice versa. At the moment we have starting May we'll have 3 flights per week, but the new information is that as of September the 5th, this year we'll also start operating the direct flight between Vilnius and Prague 3 times per week. And differently from Air Baltic, it will be year-round flights. So really, we expect not only lots of Lithuanian tourists coming to Prague, but we expect also the Czechs will use this opportunity and will come to discover our beautiful countries as well. Of course, there are many other reasons. I'm not going into details, as the delegation from Lithuania will do it much better. I will skip through, just will mention that Vilnius UNESCO, cobblestones, winding streets, red roofs, a beautiful place, affordable travel and accessibility. You don't have to to donate your kidney to finance your travel needs. it's safe, it's comfort, it's green, and gastronomy, Lithuanian food, you know, many Michelin star restaurants. It's really nice. When you go to the Baltics, very often people tend to visit only capitals of the Baltic countries, or Vilnius, or Riga, or Tallinn. But as from the presentation of our Latvian colleagues, we saw that there's much more beyond our capital. So go out from the capitals, go out from Vilnius, and explore other beauties, the nature that we have. Lithuania has you know, thousands of lakes, rivers, and its Baltic coastline, although not as big as the Latvian one, but nevertheless it's also beautiful, and it's kind of nature where you can breathe deeply, relax, and pretend you're in Shumava that has mysteriously expanded to the size of the small country. But I would like to focus on one thing, which might be interesting to Czechs, and why I mentioned Zimmerman. Zimmerman is for Lithuanians, I will explain. Zimmerman is a fictional Czech figure, right?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Who never existed, but there was not a competition, but a survey conducted some time ago. Who is the most famous Czech figure in the history, and they came up with a fictional character, Zimmerman, who never existed. So, you know, Vilnius in a way reminds me also a little bit of Prague. It's not such a in grandiose style, not such a rich, but you really could feel the aura, the colored, the buildings, the Baroque. So there are places in Prague which really remind me of Vilnius. But what Prague also reminds me of Vilnius, or vice versa, is the quirkiness that both cities have. Vilnius has Prague has the Lennon Wall. Vilnius has a Frank Zappa statue. Neither man visited our countries, but both cities decided, why not? And then, of course, we have Užupis, a Bohemian republic inside of Vilnius, in the center of Vilnius, which is not only independent republic. It declared independence on April the 1st, the Fool's Day, but it's, you know, they chose this day, and which has a constitution, its own constitution. Now, this constitution is now translated in many languages, including in the Czech language, and it's really worth not taking what it says, because it's I think it reflects really how every constitution should be written, and you know, everyone has the right to make a mistake. A dog has the right to be a dog. A cat is not obliged to love its owner, but must help in difficult times. And it goes on and on and on. So it's really kind of a piece. So if that doesn't resonate with the Czech soul, nothing will. Right? And this is why I said Zimmerman had if Zimmerman had a cuisine, he would live in Užupis. Now, me as an ambassador, maybe I can talk also on behalf of my Latvian colleague. I believe that there are also diplomatic, political reasons behind all this story. You know, as I said, sometimes you think of Lithuania, of Latvia, of Estonia as a very far away countries. In fact, we are very close countries. Especially the history of Lithuania is very much intertwined with the Czech history, with the Czech culture, and all the social economic factors. So today, of course, we built a relationship from new. We don't have our knights, but we have the Czech soldiers serving in the NATO eastern flank, protecting the border, and what's important, protecting the border of the NATO eastern flank. You know, so we want the Czech tourists to come to our countries and to see with their own eyes that we belong to the same civilization, to the same culture. In fact, being on the front line of NATO and the European Union, we protect the borders, we protect our way of life, we protect that you would live safe. If something happens, we are the first to take the punch. We're ready to take the punch. That's why we increase our defense budget to 5.4%. Just to be sure, to be safe, to keep our country safe, and to keep the safe the whole Central Europe and the whole European Union and NATO. So we want the Czech tourists come to see the Czech soldiers, by the way, stationed not only in Lithuania but in Latvia as well. So, as I said, we want to put. That's why we want to put on the touristic map of Czech tourists. So, Lithuania for the Czech Republic is next favorite habitat. As every Czech has a bit Schweik in them, and Schweik said, to be on the move is a beautiful thing. If a person is always sitting at home, he gets all rusty and doesn't know anything about the world. So Lithuania is a perfect place to avoid rust. It's close, it's charming, it's historically connected to Czechia in ways that are both meaningful and delightful, absurd, and most importantly, it's waiting for you. Pack a bag, bring your curiosity, bring your Schweik spirit. Thank you very much.
Let me greet you, and first of all I would like to start with a gratitude. My first thanks comes to embassies, of course, Your Excellencies both, thank you so much. This is already third year in a row I'm presenting here in the Embassy of Latvia, and I'm very, very happy to do that, and thank you so much for coming, all of you. And another thanks goes to Achka. It's so nice and so rewarding to have such a partner in a country where we don't have any representatives. So stay by our side, please. Yeah, because it's really important for us. So, as I was presented, Maria Radchenka from Air Baltic, and it may be another boring presentation of airline after all those beautiful pictures you've seen here. But let me start with a story. How old Air Baltic you think is? Any ideas, please, Latvians, Lithuanians? You are not asked. No? Guess. Say the number, don't be afraid.
30 years.
Wow, someone is very, very familiar with this. So, for everyone it was working, and for me it's not. Great. Yes, please. I'd like to start with a story. Let's use this time machine and let's see how Air Baltic was developed in these 30 years, you're right.
Yes.
No. Okay. Yeah.
30 years, we've been writing the story of Air Baltic together. It all began in 1995, when a Saab 340 with just 33 seats took off from Riga to Stockholm. That first flight carried not just passengers, but a vision to connect Latvia and the Baltics to the world. Our early years saw rapid growth, and 6 years later, we proudly welcomed our millionth passenger. From the beginning, innovation was part of our DNA. We once were among the first in the region to sell flight tickets online. A new era began when first Boeing joined our fleet. Not long after, we introduced a fresh identity, a white fuselage and a lime green tail, a signature look that still defines us today. The next decade was one of ambition and firsts. We started training our own pilots in Riga, expanded our fleet, and launched the first Pan-Baltic loyalty program. Our training center became one of the most modern in the region. Looking ahead, we ordered 20 aircraft that did not even exist at the time. And soon the world recognized us as the most punctual airline globally. 2016 marked a turning point in our growth as our new Airbus aircraft landed right here in Riga. With that, Air Baltic Pilot Academy was born to prepare the next generation of pilots. Many of you surely remember the proud moment uniting the Baltic countries in the skies, liveries that, to this day, remain among the most iconic on this aircraft type. In 2020, global travel came to a pause. For 62 days, our fleet was grounded due to the COVID pandemic, but that didn't stop us from adapting. We operated essential cargo flights, delivered medical supplies, and brought Baltic nationals safely back home when they needed it most. coast. Air Baltic mindset is always to turn challenges into change and keep moving forward. Despite all, we continue to grow, expanding network, employing talents, and exploring new market opportunities. We opened leadership and technical academies to grow strong leaders and professionals of tomorrow. And we welcomed our 50 millionth passenger, a proof of the trust customers place in us. This year, our anniversary year, we celebrated the arrival of a very special aircraft and became the first airline in Europe to bring passengers-free Starlink internet. Today, Air Baltic drives growth for the region, serving as an aviation hub, ensuring strong connectivity and providing essential infrastructure. By supporting thousands of jobs locally, our impact reaches far beyond the skies. With every flight, we put Baltics on the world map. Through these years, we've been part of Baltic culture, flying our talents to shine on the world stage, carrying sports teams to their biggest moments, and bringing home victories that made us all proud. From one small aircraft to a fleet of 50, from our very first passenger to millions of journeys, this is the story of how we became the airline of the Baltics.
So during these 3 minutes,